Hi, Herman. Thank you for being with us. Herman Wouters is from Belgium, has a background in special education, and has been working for most of his professional career with people with severe and profound intellectual disabilities. Herman, could you please briefly tell something about you and your work?
So for the moment I'm retired, but I started my career as a caregiver in a unit of persons with intellectual disability. And then I worked for about 40 years as a master in special education in a facility of persons with a profound and severe intellectual disability. And there I coached, supervised and supported the caregivers in their units of about 10 persons with intellectual disability. In the last 12 years, I received also a grant to do theoretical and practical work about behavior problems. And so I attended, carried out, organized a lot of lectures and masterclasses all over the world, in Europe, in the United States, in Canada, in Africa.
Well, in your experience, what are the key points for entering into relationships with a person with profound intellectual limitations, or establishing a good reciprocal communication? Although I can imagine that no person is equal to another, there may be some basic principles we have to learn.
Well, okay, most of the persons with intellectual disability I worked with don't speak. They haven't verbal language. So the non-verbal communication with them is very important. And as a caregiver, you have to focus on this level of communications. This means that in real situations, you must do a very good observation of the non-verbal language. Look at gestures, movements that start, sounds and variation in sounds, postures of the body. And then, as a second stage, you can do the interpretation of what you see. While you're observing the movements of a person, you have to interpret what is going on inside of the person on that moment. What are his or her sensations, emotions, motivation? Is she or he cooperating or expressing more resistance, a strong resistance, a moderate resistance, a weak resistance? And so when you are creating a non-verbal dialogue, a little bit like a mother with a baby, you create also reciprocity and a moment of companionship as a very important moment of social inclusion. Important for us, but also for persons with a profound intellectual disability.
Oh, that is very, very interesting. And could you make just an example?
Yes, let's bring the example of a dialogue with Timmy. He's an adult with a profound intellectual disability and a developmental level of about 6 months. I show you a brief video clip, but I need to explain it a little bit before. In the scene you will see the music therapist is first singing. You could say like the first voice. And Timmy is joining the activity with his movements. And then a moment, the therapist stops. There is a moment of silence. And Timmy starts to make sounds, which is for him quite exceptional. Like he would want to say, hey, please continue. It was pleasant. Please continue the activity. And then the therapist is joining the activity of Timmy. You could say like a little bit like the second voice. She changed a role. First, she was leading, but now she is joining the activity of Timmy. And this is a very nice moment of reciprocity, and that creates a feeling of companionship. But I propose to look at the video.
So thanks, Herman. Very, very impressive. So just to finish, what do you think we can and should do to make our cities, our communities fully inclusive for persons with profound intellectual disabilities?
One of the things I would like to say is that there is a lot to do all over the world to accept persons with a profound intellectual disability as human beings with a sense for life. Even if they have a tremendous need to be cared, even if they will never be independent, they need caregivers able to communicate in a non-verbal way and able to listen to their whispering. But as I said before already, moments of real companionship are a social need for everyone, for us, but also for people with intellectual disability.
Thank you, Herman, for your very inspirational talk.